Hi, this is Travis Campbell of marketingprofessor.com, sitting here in the local coffee shop with a friend of mine that I've only ever met before now on LinkedIn about, 3.5 years ago? 3.5 years ago, and she happens to be in town here in the area, so we were able to connect at this coffee shop, a great way for social networking offline. I'd like to introduce you to LinkedIn expert Katie Felten. Katie, glad to have you here.
Thanks, Travis.
Tell everybody where you're here from. And
I flew in yesterday morning from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm here in Ohio visiting some clients and agents, so I wanted to see if I could connect with a couple of people that I knew online.
Awesome, and I've asked kind of on the spot. She's willing to do this, which I'm grateful for. I asked her on the spot if she'd share just a couple of tips in a few quick minutes for those of you that are using LinkedIn or considering using LinkedIn, so that you can use it more effectively and more profitably in your business and in your career. So, Katie, what are some of your observations for folks?
Great. Well, there's a couple of things just kind of off the top that I've been sharing with people just recently, and they ask, how do you stay better in front of your contacts and your connections that you have on LinkedIn? I mean, so many times we just go on there and we get a bunch of connections and then we kind of leave it, but what can we do on an ongoing basis to stay in front of our connections so that they remember who we are? And there's a couple of things. Number one is the status update. Do it every day. You know, go in there, put down what's on your blog, what you're looking for, what you're working on. If you're meeting with different clients, it's a great way, whether or not people are interested in that particular post, but just for them to continue to see your name popping up on their feed. Another one is to write recommendations for your clients or people that you've done business with, because that will show up not only on your profile but on theirs as well. And we just had a client that got some business from that. They had written a recommendation for someone.
So we got status updates, and if you don't have a blog, obviously you're not going to put a link to your blog, but you can put other things, maybe what you're working on.
Right.
And it's not so much to share maybe any potential huge value piece of information, but it's that value, your presence of mind of everyone else, because your status update shows up on their network update. Is that what you're getting at?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I host a lot of events. I'm always posting our different events. Those will show up in people's feeds, so they will be able to see what events we're having, as well as when they say that they're interested in attending, that shows up on everyone that said they're interested or attending. It shows up on their profile, which helps spread the love and get more people aware of the events that we're hosting.
Well, and wait a second here. I mean, this social networking thing can be really overwhelming for people, because there's this Twitter thing, and there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, there used to be MySpace. I don't know what's happened to that, but break it down for people. You talk about the second point. I think it's a good one, writing recommendations. But what do you write, and who do you write about, and how does that even work? Can you kind of break it down?
Sure. The recommendations is really just kind of sharing your experience with a particular person and how that experience went. And the more real it can be and more personal and more you can kind of talk about the details of the transaction or whatever you're recommending them on, I think the better it is, versus just saying, Katie's a great networker. It might be, I went to Katie's class, this is what I pulled out of it, this is how I benefited, and if you're looking to benefit like I did, then, you should take this class or whatever. And that's a great way to recommend someone. It's not rocket science, but it's just taking your experience and putting it on paper.
So be specific and talk about the value as a result of the relationship.
Right.
And then that's kind of the same thing, right? I mean, you write a recommendation, and that becomes a status update thing that updates other networks. Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Comments in the groups too. That will show up on your feed and to all the people that are in the group if they're reading through some of the discussions and that sort of thing. And it shows that you're not just out there for yourself, but you're also interested in what other people are doing, and you're engaged, and you're sharing your feedback and your expertise on what other people are doing, not just out there always posting what you're doing.
Excellent. So we got status updates, we've got recommendations, and we've got commenting in groups for questions.
Right.
Any final or closing words or other thoughts you've had that can really help them take their LinkedIn to the next level?
I think the main thing is just spending time on LinkedIn and utilizing it, taking the time on an ongoing basis, whether it's 10 minutes every morning when you're checking your email, or when you're wrapping up for your day and you're closing up, just take a few minutes to engage in that conversation on LinkedIn, and you'll be amazed at what your network can do for you.
Well, folks, I'm glad you stayed to the end of this video. Again, I'm Travis Campbell of MarketingProfessor.com with my friend, first time meeting in person, Katie Felten of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll speak with you next time on the web.